Hello, 7th and 8th grade violins. This is Skill Builder 14, and this week we are going to continue to look at a day at Disneyland. We're starting at measure 113 this week. We are so close to finishing this piece, so keep up the great work, and very soon we'll be able to play the whole thing from beginning to end. Briefly, last time I mentioned that there's a new time signature at measure 109. It's called cut time. It's the C with a line through it. And we spend a lot of time in high school working with cut time. But I want to give you a short explanation of what it means, which I think will help you as we move forward playing this melody that is in cut time. If you were to write cut time using numbers, it would be 2/2. And we've had some experience with interpreting time signatures. We remember that the top number tells you how many beats are in every measure. So there's going to be 2 beats in every measure. And the bottom number tells you which type of note gets the beat. So in this case, the 2 indicates a half note. So every measure in cut time is going to have 2 half notes worth of music. So it could be 2 half notes, 4 quarter notes, 8 eighth notes. And you might be thinking to yourself, this sounds a lot like a measure of 4/4. And you're absolutely right. In fact, if you look at a cut time measure, it looks very similar to 4/4. They have the same number of beats or notes in every measure because 2 half notes is equivalent to 4 quarter notes. And there are a lot of different reasons why a composer or an arranger might write something in cut time. One of those is that the melody is very fast. And so instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And it's a little bit easier to count. It's really easy, much easier to conduct for me. And there are a lot of other reasons why it might be in cut time. But that's all I want you to think about right now is that cut time is basically a sped up 4/4. And so when we learn this melody, we are going to first learn it in 4/4 and then speed it up. So we're going to take this in some small sections. Of course, you can see at 113 you rest for 6 measures. So you're thinking 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 3 all the way until you get to 6 and 2 and. And then at measure 119 you come in with some half notes. So we're going to start there. Before we play, I'm just looking and I see some accidentals. In measure 123, I have a D sharp. That's the same thing as an E flat. It's a low 1 on the D string. And since that first D is marked as a D sharp, the rest of the measure is a D sharp. And then if you look at measure 124, you go back to regular first finger E, and then you play another E, D sharp, which is low 1, and then open D. Immediately followed by, in measure 125, a high 3, high third finger. So there's a lot going on in this section. I'm going to go from 119 all the way to 127. All right, so let's do this together. We're going slow. I'm counting it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's that low 1. Now regular 1. Some rest. We're going to keep going here. I think we can do 129 to the end of this section, so to the end of 142. I'm looking through this. I only see a couple of accidentals, and they're all super easy notes for us. There's an F natural in 135, and there's an E flat in 139. Otherwise, these are all notes that we know and can play pretty easily. So let's start at 129. 1, 2, here we go. Natural, 137, excellent. All right, we're going to go a little bit faster, starting from 119 all the way through this section, but I'm still going to count it in 4, okay? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and here we go. Now, if that was a challenge for you, playing it that fast, you can always go back and practice it a few times at the slower tempo. So just like anything we've learned, even if it's not in a weird time signature, we have to work to get it up to full speed, right? And so if you can't play it super fast yet, take some time and practice this, right? You have time to do this on your own. That's why we have these videos, to give you a chance to learn it before class. Okay, so now we're going to go just a little bit faster, but instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to count 1 and 2 and. But it's still the same feel, the same way that those notes have felt and been in relationship to each other before. It's the same thing, we're just changing the way that we count it. Okay, so here we go. 1 and 2 and 1 and here we go. And 2 and 1 and 2 and. 2 and. All right, and that is very close to the goal tempo when we play it together with everybody. Like I said, take your time, play it at a tempo that you can do successfully, and then gradually get faster. Make sure you catch those funky notes in there. Those D sharps can be tricky, especially the one where the whole measure is D sharp. It doesn't look like it, but that rule for an accidental is once it's in the measure, every single note for that measure, the accidental applies to every note in that measure, okay? So you have until the next day 1 to work on this on your own, then we'll start to put all of the sections together, all right? Thanks for watching your Skill Builder. Everyone have a great day, and I will see you in class.